Welcome back to our class on ovulation with natural fertility and power. I'm Dr. Emily Pocha, naturopathic doctor and owner of Wildcraft Medicine in La Jolla, California. We've talked a little bit about what ovulation is, how to track it, different issues that can come up with ovulation, and now we're going to talk about natural ways to support your ovulation. So let's talk a little general first, because really it's important to remember we want to understand why there is an ovulation problem, if there is one, and make sure that you're addressing it at the root cause. So if you have anovulation because of PCOS, make sure that you're balancing your blood sugar, supporting insulin receptors, reducing testosterone. But at the same time, if you have thyroid issues, you want to make sure that you're supporting your thyroid that could directly be impacting your ovulation. So always make sure that you're talking to your doctor about what the root cause is to make sure that you are appropriately treating the right thing. But let's just talk a little bit about in general. So first things is diet. Diet is so important in all aspects of health, but especially for ovulation. You want to make sure that the body has enough nutrients to ovulate appropriately and to eventually become pregnant. So plant-based Mediterranean diet is a great place to start. Plant-based is great because through the plants you can get protein, you can get different nutrients like B vitamins, zinc, iron, vitamin E. Especially if you can get a variety of different plants, this is really helpful to make sure that you're getting all the different minerals and nutrients that you need. You can still eat animal protein. I just suggest that patients do lean animal protein and making sure that they're getting a really good source, whether that's organic, grass-fed, wild-caught, and so forth. Wild-caught fish is great, especially the oily fish like salmon, because we also want to make sure we have enough essential fatty acids. This is where the Mediterranean part of the diet is really important. Getting those good oils and essential fatty acids that helps us produce different hormones. So fish is important, olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, nuts and seeds, legumes, coconut oil, avocados. These are all really great foods and resources to get essential fatty acids. We want to make sure that we have enough antioxidants coming in. Antioxidants are very important for helping support the integrity of the eggs, making sure that they are viable eggs and you can get pregnant. We can use something called seed cycling to support the rhythm of our hormones being released and to make sure that we're ovulating at appropriate times. So seeds themselves are high in different essential fatty acids. And so what I have my patients do is from day 1 to day 14, typically about the time when they ovulate, take flax seeds, chia seeds, and pumpkin seeds, grind them up, and take them in conjunction with fish oil. This helps to support that first half of the cycle, typically more estrogen dominant. And in the second half of their cycle, once they ovulate, they're taking seeds like sunflower seeds and sesame seeds with fish oil and something called evening primrose oil. And that combination really helps support progesterone in the second half of your cycle. So this is a really great way to get your cycle back on track, to make sure that you're ovulating and supporting a regular cycle if you're not already. And if you are, you can still do seed cycling. It's actually great for reducing PMS symptoms, whether that's cramping, bloating, headaches, acne, all sorts of things. So it's a great way to use food as medicine to help support ovulation and balance your hormones. Another thing that we want to make sure we're doing is reducing stress. We talked so much about how stress is such a key thing that can throw off other hormones. When we have a lot of stress, we produce more cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone that can go and talk to the brain and shut something off called gonadotropic releasing hormone. This is the hormone that comes from the brain to stimulate the ovaries to release the appropriate hormones. So if cortisol is shutting that communication off, this can directly impact ovulation. So we really want to make sure that we balance stress. We're naturally going to have stress in our lives. We just have to have good tools so that we can adapt and utilize stress and not let it overrun our lives. So things like meditation, journaling, going for walks, taking time for you, that's really, really important. The other ways I support stress is by using adaptogenic herbs. These are herbs that help to support our body adapting to stress. So I really love using rhodiola, schizandra berry, which has high antioxidants, which is great for the ovaries as well. I use eleutherococcus, I use ashwagandha. So these are just a handful of different adaptogenic herbs that can help you support your stress levels, your energy, and support hormones and ovulation. Exercise is also very important. So we talked a little bit about over-exercising. Definitely want to make sure that you don't overdo it. But regular movement is very important. It helps to move our blood and our circulation, our lymph system, and it also helps to support our stress levels. We sweat out toxins through exercise, and we can maintain a stable weight. So exercise and movement, whether that's through going on jogs, lifting weights, Pilates, yoga, whatever it is that makes you feel happy and supports your cardiovascular system, is a great thing to add into your regular routine. So now that we've talked a little bit about some of the lifestyle stuff, I want to talk a little bit about some herbs. First, I'm going to mention some herbs that specifically help with PCOS. So PCOS is actually the most common reason for anovulation. Remember, we said PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. So women that have lots of cysts on their ovaries, they tend to have insulin resistance and blood sugar imbalances, as well as higher levels of things like testosterone, DHEA, and even prolactin. So for these women, I like to use a nutrient called inositol. Inositol helps to stabilize and support insulin receptors, so it can help balance blood sugar. It also helps support the quality of eggs. So inositol is a great thing that you can use to help support PCOS. Other herbs that would help are things like Vitex, which helps to balance hormones overall and support progesterone levels. White peony, which can help lower LH levels and testosterone and prolactin, as well as licorice. Licorice helps as an adaptogen, but it also helps to support the appropriate hormones. So for PCOS patients, I tend to put them on those 3 herbs, as well as some inositol, and get them on a diet that's going to help stabilize their blood sugar. Some other herbs just in general that are helpful for ovulation are tribulus, which is an herb that helps to support all aspects of ovulation. It has a great affinity for the ovaries. Asparagus or shatavardi is a great herb that also helps to support ovulation. Vitex, which we mentioned, saw palmetto, and maca. All of these herbs are really helpful for supporting balancing of hormones, increasing energy, and supporting ovulation and eggs. So that's a little bit about natural ways to support ovulation, exercise, diet, stress reduction, and some herbs and nutrients that can really help balance your body. Make sure no matter what you're doing, you're talking to your doctor and using nutrients and herbs that are right for you. We want to make sure that they're not interfering with anything else that you're taking, and make sure that they're not doing something in the body we don't want them to do. So talk to your doctors and get a little bit more information about different ways you can support ovulation and your overall hormone balance. Take care.